Once you have an initial particle system set up with your first emitter, you'll probably want to refine how the particles are being emitted. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. So if you look at our project here, notice I have a clump of particles being emitted here from the top of this chimney. And I want to kind of refine this. So I'll start by selecting layer 1, which is my dark gray solid, and I'll go to the Effect Controls panel, and I'll click on the Designer button. In here, you'll notice I get a preview of my particle system as it currently exists. Now, in the emitter section here, notice the emitter type is a point emitter, which is what I want. I want these particles to emit from a point, but I want the particles to emit in an upwards trend, kind of like it's coming out of the top of the chimney. So to do that, I need to change the motion of the emitter. So let's click on the motion block. Notice when I click on the motion block, under my master system here, I have motion options. So click on the direction drop-down and let's choose directional. And notice it doesn't look like too much has changed, but I do get a blue crosshair here in the middle. What that allows me to do is I can click directly on the particle system and I can move it around the scene, and I could see how those particles would behave if I animated the position of that particle emitter. Now I don't want to do that, so I'll just let go. And I do want to have a directional emitter. So with my directional settings here, I'll leave my spread set to 20%, and I'll go down here under the rotation, and I want to scrub on this rightmost setting. If you scrub that to the right to a value of about 90, you'll notice now it's actually going to emit upwards in the scene. You can adjust the Y rotation, the Z rotation in the exact same fashion. I can scroll down here and go to my velocity settings. If I don't want the particles to come out quite as quickly, I could bring the velocity settings down. And the randomness is how the velocity will differ between each of the individual particles within this particle emission. So for example, if I increase the velocity randomness, more particles will move faster and other particles will move much more slowly, meaning it'll be up to 83% randomly different from each other particle. Honestly, when I make adjustments to particles, what I like to do is just hover over the parameter and scrub until I see something that I like. So I'll increase my velocity back up to a setting around 95, and I'll leave my velocity randomness to a setting right around 40 or 42. That's perfectly fine. So remember, when you need to adjust the emitter settings, you have the emitter type, which determines how the particles are initially going to be emitted, but then you have to adjust the motion of the emitter to create the overall shape. Once you have something you like here in the designer, go ahead and click Apply, and that will go ahead and, of course, apply the adjustments here within your After Effects project.